Neighbor stole my water for years, so I flipped one switch and ruined his entire life. The sale was finalized at the start of this month, and I moved in right after. The house was definitely a fixer-upper, as the previous owners had left mid-renovation, and the main door was locked with just a padlock, not even a door lock. And get this, no gate at all. Anyone could stroll right in. First day I move in, there's some random bike parked smack in my garage. I had a gate installed that same afternoon and rolled the bike out to the street. Later that evening, this angry dude starts pounding on my new gate. I didn't even open the door. Through the window, I watched him fume for 15 minutes before he finally gave up and took off with his bike. Already I was thinking, man, this neighborhood is something else. After that, it was mostly quiet. People still treated the place like it was abandoned, so my gate got blocked by parked cars a lot. Slapped up a big no parking sign, and that problem vanished. Then last week, I'm in the shower, minding my own business, and suddenly the water pressure drops like crazy. At the exact same moment, I hear my next-door neighbor's water pump roaring to life. This guy's an older man, living on the ground floor of a 3-story house. The top 2 floors are rented out to tenants. He'd been furious when my friend sold the place to me, complained nonstop, tried to stir up drama. My friends warned me, but hey, I'm a 6-foot guy with 3 big dogs. He never tried anything. Until now. I got suspicious immediately. Coincidences happen, sure, but this felt off. So I waited until his pump shut off, then ran around the house, turning on every tap. Pressure was perfect again. That's when it hit me. For the last 3 years, while the house sat empty, this old miser got onto my property and siphoning water straight from my lines. The water bills had been weirdly high, even with leaks, but nobody connected the dots. Now everything made sense. I sat on it for a couple days, turning it over in my head. Should I confront him? Call the cops? Or just let it slide? Water's dirt cheap here. My whole monthly bill, dogs, car wash, garden, everything is like $5. Even with him stealing some, it barely moved the needle. But it wasn't about the money. It was about this entitled old guy thinking he could just help himself to someone else's stuff and get away with it. That didn't sit right with me at all. I wanted to teach him a lesson. So I did something ridiculously simple. I waited until his pump clicked on, and I shut off my main water supply from the street. No breaking in, no yelling, nothing illegal. Just one turn of a valve. Here's where it gets crazy. Now, the way household tanks work in my country is that there's a ball valve in the tank which detects the level of water and turns on the pump. If the level doesn't increase, the valve stays open, which electronically sends a signal to the pump to stay on until the level gets to a point at which the valve closes and also shuts off the pump. However, the level wasn't increasing, and anyone knows that starving a pump of water isn't a good idea. This way, my expectation was that I'd burn out his pump and cause issues with his tenants. What I didn't account for is that his pump running constantly would mess up the fuses by constantly drawing power overnight and absolutely destroy his wiring. If he decided to upgrade his household wiring to a more modern standard, this would have been prevented. This house clearly still had 90s era wiring. Around 3 in the morning, I hear chaos next door. Doors slamming, people whispering, then full-on shouting. Their entire house had lost power and water. The tenants were screaming at the landlord because power and water are legally essential services here. Tenant protection laws are no joke. One tenant packed up and left the very next day. Both of them filed complaints with the police. The cops don't even need a court date for clear violations like this. They can fine him on the spot. $500 fine, which is serious money in our country. Plus, he had to refund both security deposits, and he can't rent the place out again until the wiring and water issues are completely fixed. That's going to cost him even more. Now the guy's finished. He lost both tenants, his only source of income. He's a retired mechanic with nothing else coming in. As of this weekend, he's moving out to his daughter's place because he literally can't afford to live there anymore. He finally figured out what happened. Came knocking at my gate asking if I'd turned off my water. I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Oh yeah, I had a new leak in my tank pipe. Had to shut it off till the plumber comes tomorrow." Y'all, the look on his face. He kept it straight, but I could see the panic behind his eyes. He knew. He absolutely knew I knew. But he just muttered, "Oh, okay," and shuffled back inside. He can't do a thing about it. Next week, I'm getting my own plumber in to fix everything properly and remove any pipes that cross my property line. So in one smooth move, I solved my water theft problem and got rid of a nightmare neighbor who could have been trouble later. 2 birds, 1 stone. Moral of the story? Don't steal from people just because you think you can get away with it. Entitled behavior has a way of coming back around. Sometimes with a single flick of a switch. What do you think? Was I right to handle it this way? Or should I have gone the legal route from the start? Drop your honest take in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more wild Reddit revenge tales.